Hello, I'm Dr. Lucas Watterson from Mountain State Wellness in Morgantown, West Virginia. And today I would like to share with you some very common words and phrases that I will frequently hear in the community or even sometimes in my office that people will use to describe a spinal injury that they've experienced or the effects of a spinal injury. And so some of these common phrases are things like, I have a pinched nerve, or I have a crick in my neck, or I have a slipped disc, or even I threw my back out. And so I'd like to explain to you exactly today what kind of each of those words or what the person's really intending to say when they do say something like that. So let's pick I have a pinched nerve. Well, first of all, we know through chiropractic research that when a bone is misaligned in the spine, it's very unlikely, if almost impossible, for a nerve to actually physically become pinched like you're stepping on a hose. Now, there are certain instances where that can happen, like spinal stenosis, but most of the time, people aren't really suffering from a pinched nerve. They're actually suffering from a very stiff neck because they strained or sprained a muscle in their neck or something, and then they're starting to have pain in the neck that begins typically to radiate down into the arm, which will commonly be referred to as a pinched nerve. The second comment is I have a slipped disc. Now understand this, the discs are very tightly adhered to the bone above it and the bone below it, and although they can bulge, and there's a condition called a herniated disc, they don't really slip out of position. It's not really possible for the disc to completely slip out of the position of its spine, but when someone says that, they're typically referring to being told by a medical doctor after an MRI that they do have a bulging disc, or they have a herniated disc, or they may even have a ruptured disc. And so that causes a lot of excruciating pain throughout the body and can oftentimes lead them to our office to receive care in our office from upper cervical care. The crick in the neck is typically like waking up and sleeping poorly on a pillow or on a couch or a position, or even in the car for that matter, where your neck just becomes extremely stiff and extremely painful with limited motion, where you can hardly even turn it from one side to the other. And that usually just indicates a severe sprain or strain in there, although it can also indicate an upper cervical misalignment, of which we can help with in our office. And then the last one is the funny one, quite frankly, where they say, I threw my back out. Right? Like this. I ask them all the time, how did you throw your back out? Where did you throw it to is what I say to them. And then we start to joke a little bit and talk about the idea they have a story where they fell off a ladder, or they were in a severe car accident, or they had a lifting injury, something heavy they're picking up, and something shifted in their back. And that typically is a vertebra in the lower part of the spine. And that can also be corrected from upper cervical care. So here's my suggestion to you today. If you ever hear someone in your common circle, in your circle of friends and family saying things like, I have a pinched nerve, or I have a slipped disc, or I have a crick in my neck, or I threw my back out. Those are phrases. Those are things you should pay close attention to that should signal to you that we, Dr. Lucas and Dr. Amy Watterson at Mountain State Wellness, can help that particular person. And if you please refer them to our office, we'll do our best to take care of them with compassion and confidence and clinical competency. My name is Dr. Lucas Watterson from Mountain State Wellness in Morgantown, West Virginia.